He's the racist.
You just don't know.
Here's the deal. I know a lot more about this than he does.
Very lucky.
Here's the deal. Here's the
Bernie
deal.
Sanders.
Here's the deal. And here's the deal. He has no idea what he's talking about. Here's the deal. Look, here's the deal. Look here.
Oh, really?
Here.
Oh, really?
Here's the thing.
Here's the deal. I'm sure you've heard it parodied on the internet thousands of times by now. But here's the deal on Two Shot. Biden versus Trump. Here's the deal. Hello and welcome to the Two Shot channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the first debate between Vice President Biden and President Donald Trump. Viewer discretion advised. Run the clip, Marvin.
Ukraine.
No, sir.
With $1 billion, if you
that
get rid
is
of the
absolutely
you know what, you're
not
stop.
true.
You're doing it.
You're going to
Not
have
true.
Gentlemen.
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it? Keep yapping, man.
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one group that supports you. Name one group that came out and supported you. Go ahead. Think. We have time.
We don't have time.
This will be a fair election.
Remember to subscribe and hit that like button, and I can lower hate crimes in your neighborhood right now.
Because people like this would rather make it political than save lives. If we would have listened to you, millions of people would have died, not 200,000. President Trump saved thousands of lives. 308,000 people died because they didn't have proper health care. It was a mess.
Trump saved thousands of lives, maybe millions. Can someone shut that stupid kid up? Threats.
You picked
You'd be surprised.
the wrong guy, the wrong night at the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed with
I'm here standing facing you, old buddy. Will you shut up, man?
Listen.
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it? Keep yapping, man. I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm here.
You beat Bernie Sanders? You must be so proud to have beat a man so old that he was alive at the same time that Mozart was. Hate.
By the way, maybe you could inject some bleach in your arm, and that would take care of it. Well, he's just shush for a minute. We're for a vaccine, but I don't trust him at all. There are 20 million people getting health care through Obamacare now that he wants to take it away. They can, in fact, take care of it if he just stay out of the way. By the way, he has an answer for hurricanes. He said maybe we should drop a nuclear weapon on them. They may.
I never said that
That's
at all.
He did say
You made it up.
This man's done virtually nothing.
Name calling.
It's hard to get any word in with this clown. This
is that
ridiculous.
The Democrats that run these cities
ridiculous.
don't want to.
But let him finish, sir.
He doesn't know how to do that.
The president, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that.
Trump is going to see how things turn out.
We're going to see how that turns out. But a lot of people agree with me, many people. If you look at our numbers right now, we are doing phenomenally. If you look at the polls, I'm doing better than any Republican has done in a long time because they saw what you did. Numbers are going up 100, 150, 200%. The greatest economy in the history of our country. So we built the greatest economy in history. We closed it down because of the China plague. China
with
ate
Mexico.
Your lunch. Down 18%. China ate your lunch, Joe. China sends up real dirt into the air. Russia does, India does, they all do.
Is being the president of the United States of America a laughing matter? Joe Biden seems to think so.
Listen, this is the way it is. And that destroyed. By the way, I brought back Big Ten football. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, if you can believe that. Now, the man got fired.
What about this question of reopening?
Millions of people would have died. I'm okay with masks.
I want to ask you both about one.
47 years, you've done nothing.
Subject is COVID.
You could never have done the job that we did.
I know how to do the job. I know how to get the job
Well, you
done.
didn't do very well in swine flu. H1N1, you were a disaster. Your own chief of staff said you were a disaster. It's a disaster. It was a disaster. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. As far as the ballots are concerned, it's a disaster.
The ballots are a disaster. Rigging, getting thrown in garbage baskets, creeks, disgraceful. It's a disaster. It's a disaster.
If you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, they came after me, and we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. You better take a look at that, because we caught you, in a sense. President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it, too. They're sending millions of ballots all over the country. There's fraud. They found them in creeks. They found some with the name Trump. Just happened to have the name Trump just the other day in a waste paper basket. All run by Democrats.
2 minutes is 2 minutes.
All run by Democrats. It's
President Trump,
it's a rigged election.
you're going to be able to continue. You have been charging for months that mail-in balloting is going to be a disaster. You say it's rigged.
Biden's son was an unemployed drug addict with connections to the Ukraine and China. China. Disgraceful.
I'm talking about my son, Beau Biden. You're talking about
I don't know, Beau.
My son.
And he didn't have a job.
And he didn't have a job. And he didn't have a job.
My son, like a lot of people we know at home, had a drug problem.
Want to buy some drugs?
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true.
For
He wasn't dishonorably.
cocaine use. And he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And once you
None
became
of that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China.
My son did nothing wrong at Burisma.
I think he did.
And that is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
Your son did do something wrong, you son of a bitch!
He's Putin's puppy. He still refuses to even say anything to Putin about the bounty on the heads of American soldiers.
No, I'm Mr. President.
$3.5
Mr.
million,
President.
Joe. The mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million.
That's
What
not
did he
true.
do to deserve it?
Even
Mr.
the
President,
people who
please stop.
testified. Simply
Why did
not
he
true.
deserve $3.5 million
They
from
did-
Moscow?
Look, here's the deal.
Vice President,
no. Can I be honest? It's a very important
Try to be
question.
honest.
No,
He
I-
stood up.
No,
he stood up,
the answer to
and
the
he
question is no.
threatened Ukraine.
No, sir.
With $1 billion, if you don't
That
get rid of
is
the press.
absolutely
You know what, you're-
not
stop.
You're
true.
on tape doing it.
You're going to
You're on
have
tape.
True.
Gentlemen.
What about the $3.5 million with Biden's son? Even the moderator's not acknowledging this. They got to him too.
With fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to you, sir, to do that.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more interrupting
Well, that's
than
all
he
right,
has.
but he does plenty.
Well, less than, sir, less
does
than.
plenty.
No, less than you have.
Can you
Go
add
ahead,
back
sir.
30 seconds?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, you may have.
All right.
We're done, sir. We're moving on to the next. We're
everybody
When
moving.
a bat
advice
hits
in
you
your
over the head, that's not
administration.
an idea.
Let the vice president talk.
Good.
Sir.
Excuse me, he made a statement.
Sir, it's
It's
his
the wrong
Yeah,
statement.
I understand. You've agreed to the 2 minutes, so please let him have it.
Do I get my time back?
Please
Go
let
on.
him speak, Mr.
Number-
President.
how
Wait,
many-
no.
My son.
Wait a minute. Mr. President, your campaign agreed to both sides would get 2-minute answers uninterrupted. Well, your side agreed to it, and why don't you observe what your campaign agreed to as a ground rule, okay, sir?
He never keeps his word. Can you
Because-
add back
He's
I'm
a
not
person
asking.
that-
That was a rhetorical question.
You got to open these states up. It's not fair. You're talking about almost it's like being in prison. They're hurting people. He wants to shut down this country, and I want to keep it open. And we did a great
he
thing
just
by
admitted
shutting
he
it
shut
down.
it down.
Wait a minute,
Let
Joe.
him
Let me
finish,
shut
sir.
you down for a second, Joe, just for 1 second. One of the reasons they shut down is because they want to keep it shut down until after the election. Oh, we're going to open up on November 9th. Why November 9th? Because it's after the election.
Could it be possible that the Democrats have some involvement with COVID-19? How so, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you if you listen. Late last year, the Democrats feared that this year they would lose the election. So, they concocted a plan with the Chinese. COVID was born, creates panic, puts the heat on Mr. Trump, and there you have it. A chance at winning the election. Pretty cut and dry as far as I'm concerned. We gotta fight Biden. Come on, let's fight Biden together.
I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, when I think I need it. I
Just
wear
like your
masks
rallies.
when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. According to the experts, Joe does the circles and has 3 people.
Vice President Biden, you are holding much smaller events with
Because nobody will show up.
people with.
Well, it's true. Nobody shows up to his rallies.
all right.
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one group that supports you. Name one group that came out and supported you. Go
Look,
ahead.
look.
Think. We have time.
We don't have time. He did not even ask Xi to do that. He told us what a great job. Still doesn't have a plan.
Wrong. He was wrong.
Those are
You're
the
wrong.
outcomes.
You're wrong.
No, I want to continue with you on
I
this,
love
Vice
counting the
President
votes.
Biden.
Chris, he's so wrong when he makes.
He's absolutely wrong. He said we owe him a.
Trump, you have often said that you believe you have done more for black Americans than any president, with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln.
They've never forgotten it, Joe.
never-
So you did that, and they called you super predator.
So you did that, and they called you super predator.
You have treated the African American population community, you have treated the black community about as bad as anybody in this country. We just got the support of 250 military leaders and generals, total support, including Space Force.
Is Space Force coming soon? We'd better hope so.
The people of this country want and demand law and order, and you're afraid to even say it. And he doesn't want to say law and order because he can't, because he'll lose his radical left supporters.
I'm wearing a shirt here today, historic Route 66, which is a highway through the United States. Let's take a look. This shirt was actually gotten to me by my grandpa. May he rest in peace.
How much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it. I paid $27 million.
Show us your tax returns.
I went. You'll see it as soon as it's finished. You'll see it.
Show us your tax returns.
I paid $38 million 1 year.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it.
You propose more than $4 trillion over a decade in new taxes.
I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts, and I'm going to eliminate those tax cuts.
See? Trump says okay here because Donald Trump is flexible.
The car has gotten so expensive because they have computers all over the place, and I'm okay with electric cars too. I want to give them better health care at a much lower price. Insulin, it was destroying families, destroying people. The cost, I'm getting it for so cheap. It's like water, you want to know the truth. So cheap.
He hasn't lowered drug costs for anybody. He's been promising a health care plan since he got elected. He does not have a plan. He doesn't have a plan. Look what's happened just in the Midwest with these storms that come through and wipe out entire sections and counties in Iowa. They didn't happen before. They're because of global warming.
Storms that wipe out towns in the Midwest didn't happen before? Global warming? Give me a break, Joe.
The Green New Deal is $100 trillion.
That is not my plan. My economic plan would create 7 million more jobs than his in 4 years.
I want crystal clean water and air. I want beautiful, clean air. We have now the lowest carbon.
Trump wants clean water and air because he believes in climate change.
California's burning. California's burning.
He blew it. They're gone. He blew it.
Is it fair to say he blew it when fact, when there was record low unemployment?
Yeah.
In 47 months, I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe. We've done things that you never even thought of.
In Obama's final 3 years as president, more jobs were created, 1.5 million more jobs than in the first 3 years of your presidency.
They took over something that was down here. All you had to do is turn on the lights and you pick up a lot. I brought back 700,000 jobs. They brought back nothing. I want to see peace, unless they're stupid.
The former vice president, despite his name-calling, threats, racism, and even insistent laughter at the most inappropriate of times, did somehow appear to win this debate. He did so using an ancient technique mastered by the Clinton administration.
Did you see what's going on today? There was a big problem. In Philadelphia, they went in to watch. They're called poll watchers, a very safe, very nice thing. They were thrown out. They weren't allowed to watch. You know why? Because bad things happen in Philadelphia. Bad things.
What?
These people aren't equipped to handle it, number one. Number two, they cheat. They cheat.
Because he's trying to scare people.
If I run it badly, they'll probably blame him, but they'll blame me. But more importantly, I want to help people. The left, or I don't know if I call them left, I don't know what I call them. Tremendous crowds.
Space Force. Space Force. When we get into outer space, in the Space Force, all those aliens are gonna not know what hit them. Could riots really be stopped through Biden as a president? Is Biden a racist? Serious though, if this was like not real, this would have been the funniest television ever. This would have been a classic on the level of The Big Lebowski. China, China, China.